Now, when you know network marketing's 10 big secrets that the top earners in your business know but never talk about, you'll become more successful much faster. 10 secrets that network marketing leaders don't talk about. And when I review them with you, you'll understand why. First, every month, 200 network marketing companies close or make unpopular changes that cause people to leave their company. Every month, 300 new companies are launched, but 93% of them are going to fail within 5 years. Network marketing companies recruit whales, top earners from other companies. Whales will leave a good company and move to another company and bring their teams. Whales will leave a failing company and bring their teams to another one. 85% of the whales in every company have been in more than one company during their career. People usually make more money in their second or third company than they did in their first. Because when they go to a second or third company, they bring people with them from their other companies. When you bring a whale into your business grows much faster. Help is available to anyone to recruit a whale. You know, 79% of the people in every network marketing companies fall into the orphan category. In other words, the person that brought them into the business is no longer in the business. They're not connected to any team. They're not working with any leaders. But if they want to build the business, then they scramble looking for information, looking for trainers that can help them build the business. And anyone at any level of experience in network marketing can recruit a whale. Now, I'm the most enthusiastic supporter of the network marketing business model that you will ever meet. There are many great network marketing companies out there where people are thriving financially. Some companies have done so well that they have their stock publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, over the years, network marketing has earned a bad reputation in many circles because of the actions of some companies and some unethical leaders, so it's not entirely undeserved. The internet is filled with their stories. Network marketing companies operate under 90-day cycles. People come into the business, they have roughly 90 days where if they don't achieve some level of success, they bail. So keep this in mind when you bring somebody into your business. If you want to build a team, you have to help those people achieve some level of success in the first 90 days. And companies, when they have events, when they bring teams together, hide this information. And most network marketing companies want you to get customers. And customers are the lifeblood of your business. People will continue to buy the products, but your business will grow faster if you bring people that are interested in turning it into a business. because they will on purpose run around and tell more people about it. As for new companies that are just getting started, unfortunately, startup companies, like in any other kind of business, have been known to crash and burn before their third year. And while there are many new companies out there today that have no chance of being successful, and it can be risky to get in on the ground floor with one of them. Now, I'm currently working with many of the leaders, top earners, and their teams in over 100 companies. Many of my students started where you are today and became the top earners and leaders in their companies thanks to social networks. Many did it faster by bringing top earners from other companies into their business. Now, over the last 28 years, I've worked with the leaders and top earners in over 700 companies that closed, failed to start, failed to launch, terminated agreements with their distributors, changed the comp plan, or made other unpopular changes that literally forced their leaders to leave and find other companies to promote. Some started their own companies. Some went to other companies or left the industry altogether. Many turned to creating their own products and became coaches. Many became affiliate marketers. As companies close or make decisions that are not appreciated by their distributors and leaders, the result is the migration of people out of the company and into something else. And this large group of dissatisfied, frustrated, and unhappy people are leaders with teams that will follow them to another company. These leaders are commonly referred to as whales. So, secret number one. Every month, over 200 companies close, merge with other companies, fail to launch, or make unpopular changes that create a large pool of people that are earnestly looking to find and join another company. Again, the top earners and leaders found in this group are routinely called whales. Secret number two. Every month, over 300 companies are launched, but 93% of them are going to fail within 5 years. Everybody seems to be in a hurry, to get into something that's new. The misconception is that the people get into companies early are the ones that make the most money, and that, my friends, is not true. So in my book, How Network Marketers Catch Whales, People with Large Circles of Influence, we have broken whales into two categories. One are the insider whales, people that have network marketing experience. And when they come into your business, they bring their teams. They bring leaders in from other companies, from other groups. And the other group are what we call outsider whales. These are people from the corporate world who are now jumping into network marketing, and they have an opportunity to bring the people that they know. They could be store managers, they could be regional directors, they could be professional athletes. But when these people join your business grows faster. So here are some important network marketing facts to remember. Now, why do we get into network marketing? For residual income. And residual income is a wonderful thing. You make a sale once and continually get paid for your efforts. J. Paul Getty is famous for his quote, "I'd rather have 1% of the effort of 100 men than 100% of my own efforts." But you only get paid for as long as the company remains in business. You must always remember, you're betting on the company owners. You're betting on the company's management. You're betting on the company's leadership. And you're betting on market trends. So if the company closes, you'll lose your residual income. If the company merges with another company, the compensation plan always changes. If the compensation plan changes, your residual income can shrink or it can stop altogether. And if leaders are unhappy, they'll find another company and take lots of people with them. Now, let me just say this. For those of you that are in a network marketing company right now, build the business and have the confidence to know that, God forbid, something happens to the company you're in. It is not the end of your network marketing career. I remember when I was just getting started in network marketing, I ran ads in newspapers for 7 months. And I used to run ads in newspapers so I could get people to go to a hotel where we had meetings. We had meetings every Tuesday night. So I'm talking to a fella who, frankly, sharp guy, probably one of the sharpest people I had talked to that month. And we're having a great conversation. Then he says to me, "Excuse me, but is this network marketing?" Now, my first year in the business, I hated when people asked me that question. For those of you that feel that way, I want to change your attitude. Because for people that have a negative attitude about network marketing, they just have old information, and you have better information than they do. So I asked him, he said, "Excuse me, but I'm not really interested in network marketing." I said, "Would you mind telling me why?" And he says, "Not at all." He says, "I'm good in sales, and I joined a company, and I got my income up to about $20,000 a month. My life changed. Bought a house, got married, bought a BMW. Life was great. And then one day the company closed. No warning, no notice, boom, my income died. I would never get involved in another one of these companies. As a result, he lost his house, lost his wife, and he had to downgrade his car. So he, frankly, was done with network marketing. And I didn't know at the time what I know now. Because if something happens to your company, go to another company. Only you never go to the next company by yourself. You bring your team. You bring other people in your company that you know. You can bring other leaders with you. That's why we always say you make more money in your second or third company than you do in your first. Now, I was on my way to becoming the top leader in the company. I was building a business called the People's Network, and I was using America Online to build the business. And when I discovered one secret, I was in the business for 3 years before I stumbled on it. There are unhappy network marketers. Then in my second year, I recruited 20 people in my business right after Christmas. I go to an event in Texas, the third week in January. Nobody, and I just wanted some recognition because there were so many people in my company that could really benefit from what I had learned, what I was doing. But nobody talked about me. In fact, they didn't invite me up on stage. Instead, they brought a guy up on stage who, in 2.5 weeks, brought 250 people in the business. Well, how did that happen? Have you ever wondered how some people get into your business and in the first 30 or 60 days, boom, they shoot right to the top of your business? Nobody will tell you how it happened. You're left to scratch your head and wonder how they do it. And you can say to yourself, well, it's not duplicatable. The fella that they brought up on stage, I stalked him throughout the event. I caught him one night in the hotel bar, bought him a couple of drinks, and I got his story. And my network marketing career changed. As a matter of fact, in the next 18 months, my business shot up to where I had 7,000 people in my business. And then I became a statistic. The owners of our company sold us to prepaid legal, which is something totally different than what we were involved with. Things happen. Now, so many people have a negative attitude about network marketing, and they jump into affiliate marketing with the notion that you have to have multiple streams of income. So you need to participate in 3 or 4 different businesses. So God forbid, if one shuts down, you got another one. Multiple streams of income. And that, my friends, is a misconception. Okay? Multiple streams of income is not being in multiple network marketing companies. Because if you have your fingers into 3 or 4 different companies, you will never be super successful. You want to be super successful? You pop into one, build it hard. God forbid, if something happens, you take all the people, your teams, people in other teams in your company, you go to a new company. Multiple streams of income is when you're making enough money and you take some of that money and you invest it. You could buy real estate, generate additional streams of income. You could buy luxury cars. You buy them at the right price. When you sell them, you make some money. There are so many different things that you could do to generate multiple streams of income. But you don't do it by building multiple companies. And that's a big, big misconception. Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna unmute Barbara so I can share her success with everybody. Now, the fast way to become a top earner in your business is to talk to the people that you know with large circles of influence, bring them into your business, and then help them bring in their friends. A faster way to become a top earner is to talk to the professionals that you know with large circles of influence. Bring them into your business and help them bring in their friends. The fastest way to become a top earner is to talk to the professionals that you want to know on LinkedIn and Facebook with large circles of influence that have no network marketing experience. Professionals in management whose companies have closed. Show me somebody that worked for Bed Bath & Beyond for 25 years, loses his job. You bring one of those people into your business, you help him bring all of his employees, all of his leaders. I have one student that's already done it, and they've shown him how to reach out to all the other store managers, Bed Bath & Beyond, expose them to network marketing. Bring them into your business and then help them bring in their friends. But an even faster way to become a top earner is to talk to a network marketing leader with a large team. Bring them into your business and help them bring in their leaders and team members that are already trained. That's what our training, How Network Marketers Catch Whales, will teach you how to do. Anyone at any level in network marketing can recruit a whale. Sheila was building an isogenics business. She could barely send email. 6 months later, she landed her big fish. Played my cards like you taught me, was patient. Annie Van Dyke signed up a guy in her business from Cyprus. She lived in Amsterdam. She met him on LinkedIn. He had 50,000 people in his former business. She made enough money bringing that one person into her business that she took off for 6 months. Kathy sent me this. I'm looking forward to the August boot camp. The methods you teach helped our team grow to top leaders in 2 countries with the company. Your business grows much faster when anyone on your team recruits so well. When I started working with Rhonda Collier, she was making $150,000 a year. 3 years later, she was up to $750,000. The next year, she was $1 million earner in Isogenics. But someone on her team enrolled the #1 earner in another company. She was making $500,000. She's leaving her company to join Rhonda's team. Why does this happen? Shock. Connected with 2 whales on Facebook using your system and now bringing in other leaders for my new project. Francisco, the whale I enrolled in my business in December, added 80,000 people to my team by February, helping to bring the size of my team up to 500,000 people. This, my friends, is totally duplicatable. Bring seasoned experience, network marketers. And the thing that you have to remember is you don't necessarily achieve this level of success by going to the top earners. You connect with anybody in the business that you can build a relationship with, anyone. And they will lead you to a top earner. Todd used the Whale Book to enroll 3 rock stars in a row, right out of the corporate world. And Rick, targeting network marketers, got 12 people to talk to in 1 day, and he signed up 2 of them. There are thousands of whales searching for new opportunities right now. And I want to invite all of you, if you haven't registered for my Top Earner Retreat, that starts in 2 weeks. Please do, because I'm going to show you new ways to do it. So network marketers are in the center of 2 perfect storms of opportunity. Storm number 1 are the hundreds of companies that are closing or fail to launch. And of course, you've also got 300 new companies that are launched. So what makes an unhappy network marketer? Something has changed in the company that has changed the opportunity. Could be a change in the compensation plan. It could be a company goes out of business. Company leaves the market. Company changes the product. Company merges with another company, or the company changes upper leadership. Or the company terminates leadership. Network marketers unhappy, they go someplace else. So what can make a network marketer an orphan? The person that brought them into the business is no longer in the business. They're not connected to anyone that can help them. They have no system to build the business that works for them. So when an unhappy network marketer joins your team, they bring many of their friends with them, and your business grows faster. Common reasons companies close: by the owners without notice because they ran out of money, by the company with a bankruptcy, by acquisition with another company, by stopping production of their products, by pulling out of a country, by the Federal Trade Commission, by the Food and Drug Administration, by the Security and Exchange Commission, based on the activity of the company or the activity of the products, by a government agency with a cease and desist order. We're going to tell you about a company that just got sued last Friday. The word probably hasn't spread to their distributors yet, by a state attorney general with a restraining order. Because once it's out there that a company is under investigation or being sued by a government agency, the opportunity is gone. Zija back in 2018, acquired 3 companies. And then they merged with Isagenix in 2020. So in 2018, they merged with Emzagold, Kivana, and Zango. Now, I had been working with master distributors in Kivana for about 4 years, working with the people in Zango for maybe 9 years. And it was a big shock to them when one day they got a notice that, oh, we're merging with Zija. Zija had great products, founded by a company, by someone, Ken Braswell, that had 2 previous network marketing companies that he founded that were still going strong. Everybody thought different company, but they got great products. Little did anyone know that in January of 2020, Braswell would sell the company to Isagenix. So when a company is acquired by another company, Zango, Kivana, Emzagold were acquired by Zija, 2018, 2020, they became part of Isagenix. Youngevity acquired Bella Vita, Sorvana, Rico Life, and their biggest acquisition was Free Life. Monavie was acquired by Jeunesse. Neways became Modere with new financing. They're now a social media company. And the People's Network, TPN, company that I was building, became Prepaid Legal, and then Prepaid Legal became Legal Shield. So earlier this year, a 48-year-old company got out of the business in Europe. Nikan. Now, back in 2015, Nikan pulled out of 14 countries, and everybody in those countries lost their business. 2 of my most successful coaching students, literally overnight, it's gone. They found another company, they went over there and they started building it. You could go on LinkedIn and you could actually find people in Nikan in Europe. When Mary Kay pulled out of Australia and New Zealand, you could find leaders. I mean, they literally lost their income. The year before, Avon pulled out. And a company called OnPassive was sued by the Federal Trade Commission on Friday. The company had been saying it will launch since 2018. They never launched. The company said they'd launch when they had 10,000 founders. To be a founder, you just had to invest $98. Company would earn close to $1 million, but they never launched. And you can find them on LinkedIn, different groups. Generally, it looks like there's about 3,300 people on LinkedIn. One of their pages has 30,221 followers. Storm 2. Large companies are closing, going bankrupt, or reducing staffs in record numbers. Professionals losing their jobs have created a tidal wave of activity on LinkedIn. They're adding 10 million professionals every month, 20% of the professionals being laid off and jumping on LinkedIn are in sales. So whales can rise to the top of your company quickly and have the experience to lead, train, inspire, build teams, and bring large groups of people that they know with them. They're eager to talk to you on LinkedIn, and many of them will jump into your business and they will immediately bring many of their friends with them. Now, the strategies and scripts contained in our How Network Marketing Catch Whales book have been proven to work to get a whale or a rock star to look seriously at your business. Now, let me hop over here. And I'm going to come over here to LinkedIn. So I love success stories. And frankly, I can't wait until I can talk about you. So let me unmute Barbara.
Hi, Max.
Hi, Barbara.
How are you today?
I am great,
Good.
but I was greater after I read, what you wrote here. So what happened?
Well, I guess my sponsor's on LinkedIn too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know a while back he said something. I said, well, I'm learning more on LinkedIn. Okay. And if you want to, let me know. Well, and so today I'm coming home, I'm driving. He said, do you have a minute? I want to ask you, what are you doing on LinkedIn? Could you help me? Could you share with me what you do? So I told him about the fella that was in our business, our 91-year-old, who kept telling me about Max Steingard, Max Steingard, Max Steingard. And I said, and out of respect to him, he had passed away in December. I felt I should learn more about it. And I said, no, thank God I did. Because I said, our whole thing that we're taught, I said, God only knows how many scripts I have of, hey, would you like to make extra money if it doesn't interfere with what you're already doing? I said, we don't even know who they are. We don't even know if they have a need. I said, we have one of the most unbelievable fellas, 28 years teaching people how to do this right. He said, are you going to show me? I said, I'll give you his, I'll show you how you can get on and learn, because I've got a good handle on it, but I'm not going to say I know as much as I should. And I'd rather you learn it directly from him. I don't know if that was the correct answer, because I'm more than willing to help him. But I said, like Max said, if we get 1% better every day, because I'm still learning too, at the end of the year, we'll be 365% better.
So
He said, okay, send me what I need to do, what I need to get on here. I said, okay.
So you can text me your sponsor's name and I'll certainly keep my eye out for him. Now, is he successful in your business?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he started out, I came across him quite by accident, which really wasn't an accident, but he had his own credit repair business. And I was doing life insurance, and they had some special promotion, that if you came in as an agent and bump it up and up and up. And he said, one day he said, you really need to come and see this fella Saturday morning. He's coming out of Maryland. He makes, at that time, he was making $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Now he's making about $7 million. And you need to take a look at this. And I said, well, I'll try.
Who was that?
It was Mike Humes.
Okay.
Oh, he's phenomenal. I mean, he's the one, he'll text me and wish me a happy Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who says, whatever you need, let me know. And so I almost didn't go. I said, I'll try, because I still had to sell more life insurance that week. And I don't know about anybody else if God talks to them, but he's pretty clear with me. So that night I'm going to bed. I'm in my 70s now, right? He said, well, do you think maybe, suppose you get up one morning and you can't go out there and knock on doors, and do life insurance. Do you think you maybe ought to go hear what a millionaire's got to say? Because by this time he was making, he had already been a millionaire. I said, you're probably right. You're probably right. So when I went and saw it, I went, oh, forever be. And I just never changed my mind. I've hit some speed bumps, I've hit some roadblocks, I've hit some but I never quit, because, and this is a key, Mike Hume's exact words, we all have our little things. He said, you cannot stop a man or woman that will not quit. And I said, well, quitting's not an option. So I was pretty impressed today because, yeah, my sponsor is very successful in the business. But I remember, I think it was last week, one of the new people that started, and we do our welcome calls. And, he welcomed her and he said, well, we always edify each other and how great I am and bump it up. He said, but I don't usually do anything with that, with the social media, but we have all kind of training and bump it up. And so when we got done, and I wasn't putting him down in any way, I said, I'm going to teach you what I do know about getting this, to do what you need to do with Lincoln.
Mhm.
Okay. She said, fine. Okay. But I guess he finally realized, he sees what I'm doing. I mean, I haven't been the rock star yet, but I'm still planting all the seeds, and I've got people lined up for who knows whatever, and they're eventually going to come together here. But he sees that.
Well, didn't you say, you got a notice on Facebook that, you were one of the top recruiters for a month?
Yeah, back in May.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that probably caused a trigger. And I mean, over the years I've had, where I've been the top recruiter or whatever, but like I said, his name's Anthony Clinskill. I said, Anthony, it's so simple. I said, it's like fishing. I said, we've got to look for the people that are, qualified. Do they need what we have? We need to learn more about them. We don't want to jump in there. We don't want anything on our website that talks about what we do. I said, we got all kind of scripts. I said, Max Steingart, and he remembered Gene that was on our team. I said, he kept telling me, and I said, I'll tell you right now, he's the best. Max Steingart, you can't, I said, he's been doing this 28 years. He knows what he's doing. And I would highly suggest for yourself to learn directly from him. I mean, I'll share with you what I do know.
Mhm.
And share the scripts that I teach the new people to start to use. And what your profile is the biggest thing. And we do have one fella on our team. He's not on our team, he's on one of the others over in Greenville, that he actually has been teaching what to do with social media. He's built his whole business on social media. Now, I don't know if he uses LinkedIn. He does a little bit of everything, I think.
Mhm. I remember when they made the announcement that our company was now going to be part of Prepaid Legal.
Yeah.
They brought all the leaders in like 2 days before the event was going to take place, because they had
Oh, wow.
to sell us on it, because they relied on us to sell it to our teams.
Right.
It was going to work.
No.
And Jeff Olson, who founded our company, introduced me to Harlan Stonecipher, who founded, Prepaid Legal.
Right.
And he says, Harlan, this guy has figured out the internet. So I was invited to go to Ada, Oklahoma, to show them the deal. Did you ever go to Ada?
Right.
Did you ever go to Ada?
Yeah, that's where their main office is, Ada. Yeah, I actually, when I first started, toured their home office.
When I went, let me tell you what happened. So I was supposed to go there on a month. I had a week.
Okay.
I was flying into Dallas at, I was going to arrive at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I started recruiting. And when I got to Dallas, I was met by somebody that was interested in the business. She picked me up. She drove me to a car rental where I rented a van. And then we drove to a shopping center where I picked up 4 more people. Now, we all knew each other from the, we were all talking to each other. So
Right.
I'm driving to Ada, Oklahoma with 5 women in the car. Okay. And when we got to Ada, and this was before they built their new office, it reminded me of Mayberry,
Really?
from the old Andy Griffin show. And so I get there and they gave the girls a tour. And I was talking to Stone Cipher's assistant,
Okay.
and I was showing them, I said, look, this is how easy it is. And the thing was that they were not interested in the internet. They
Right.
were concerned about fraud. They needed to have stuff filled out. They needed hard copy. Because, in the company, you could bring somebody into the business. They spend $26. And then if you bring enough of them in, your rank advance. The higher up you go, the more commissions you make.
Right.
So somebody pays you $26 for, and they pay you an advance commission. I mean, you could make $125
Right.
for making a $26 sale. The problem is that if people quit before they've been in it for a year, then it's a chargeback.
Right.
And the thing was that if they quit, you got charged back, but you didn't lose your rank. So people would do that just to get the rank. And so that's what they were concerned about. And I tried to tell them, I said, look, that's going to happen, whether you do it over the internet or not.
Right.
And so I personally couldn't get excited about doing something with a company that didn't want
Right.
to embrace social media. So I would venture to say that 75% of the people, the leaders in our company, went other places.
Right.
They invited me, to come out and train their teams, and that's kind of launched my training business.
Okay.
But at the time, the top distributor in prepaid legal was Dave Savul.
Yes. Yes. His grandchildren are even in it. And one of the things they said, how many millions, I forget, it was something astronomical, how many millions of dollars he made in Legal Shield.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah. Well,
unbelievable.
I love, Dave
Yeah.
in fact, Dave didn't know anything about computers. In fact, we used to joke,
No.
we used to joke about it. He says, I thought the only way to turn, you just unplug it. if you want to turn it off. But he saw the big picture. And
Yes.
I was training a number of regional vice presidents. What was the guy's name? I was doing a lot of training in Atlanta. I was doing training for the
Okay.
vice president in Florida, and then there were like 5 different states. In fact, some of the top earners in Legal Shield today were my students, back in 1998,
Mm-hmm.
1999. So, the bottom line is that when you're going to bring people into the business, you want to bring people in that get it so that they don't quit, because there's nothing worse than getting a chargeback.
Well, yeah, and that's why I tell them, look, and I teach my team, if they don't see the value of the membership, because even when I started, they got all these bonuses now, this bonus, that bonus, whatever. And even Brian Carruthers, who makes God knows how much money, he's the one who'll tell you, well, you should buy leads. He buys leads.
I got to
Yeah.
tell you, Brian Carruthers was in our company.
Really?
Yeah. And Brian was an old-time network marketer. And as a leader, we had 90 days to try to bring as many of our people, get them signed up in prepaid. At the end of 90 days, they were open to everybody. Brian got the the company list. So after 90 days, he was going after my people. I didn't care because I wasn't going to build the business. But
Right.
I'm trying to think of, let's see, the Amelia Brothers.
Yeah, yeah, and our upline platinum is Darnell Self.
Okay, I did a training for Darnell.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's cool, and I read Harlan Stonecipher's book. You know how Legal Shield began, well, prepaid legal, and I thought that's really that's a man that had a vision.
Yeah.
He had a belief. Um, you know, he had what he had, but like I tell everybody, I even had a friend one day call me. She says, I think she knew about Legal Shield years ago, right? Because I think I need your membership, something with my apartment or bump it up. I said, listen, I know you're my good friend. I said, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell anyone. If you're going to take this membership just for your little apartment thing there, I'm not going to do it because you won't keep it. And she went, I said, if you don't see the value of the whole membership, I don't want you to have it. Because I didn't say about I don't want to charge back, but no, I don't want to charge back. And I don't want anyone to have that membership that does not see the value.
Well, you know, my favorite part of it was traffic tickets. Okay, in other words, you got a traffic ticket,
Right.
you know, they'd handle it for you, and in most cases, they get you out of it. And I drive fast. Okay, so it was a great feature, and of course now they have identity theft,
Yes.
which everybody is also concerned about these days. So
Yeah.
it's a great company. You know, when Stonecipher had it, they were a public company, which also gave it credibility. When new owners came in, they took it private, which is still okay. But you know,
Mhm.
the bottom line is, um, when you're talking to somebody that clearly needs it and realizes the benefits,
Right.
they'll keep it forever because it's really a
Because
great deal.
well, and like even when I do my presentation, I don't even go into the money part till I'll say, do you see the value of the two memberships?
Mhm.
Because if you don't see the value, you're surely not going to share it with anyone.
Right.
So who cares about the money part? Because you're not going to do it anyway. And but most everyone does. And I recently had one fellow. He had to research it, and and then he wanted me to do another presentation. And I said, Jan. He said, well, I gotta. I said, listen,
Mhm.
what's stopping you from getting started today? Well, I said, that's fine. I said, I don't want you to feel you have to do it. But I said, I'm here to help you. But I said, I'm not going to try to convince you. No, no, no.
Is
That's
is
not
your
on my
is
list
your
of things.
is your sponsor on LinkedIn?
Yeah, it apparently is on there because I recently, I think this is what happened. I recently started seeing him comment on my post.
Mhm.
You know, because I every morning before I got the link and that I'm actually using it now, every single morning I would post something on Facebook, something encouraging, something up. So now each morning before I do anything else or get real crazy, I'll post something on Facebook and I post the same thing on LinkedIn. And always on Facebook, he'd always comment, but I now noticed he's also commenting on whatever I post on LinkedIn. And so by today, he's thinking, you know, he's they probably because see he knows. I've had people they give me the nickname Bulldog because they know you're not going to stop till you get it done. You might have to struggle. You might be technically challenged with whatever you got to use, but you will not stop. And that is correct
What's his
because
name, Barbara? Let me see if we
his
can.
name is Anthony. I imagine that's how he's in there. And then it's Clinkscale, CL. Let me think. INK, I think. There he is, right at the top. And see, he doesn't have a thing in the back, what you call the cover thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. I didn't even look down there to see what he has. Does he have anything in there about Legal Shield? I don't know.
No,
Yes, he still has in there where he did credit restoration for 27 years. And I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, he closed his business and he does Legal Shield full time. I mean, a awesome fella. I can honestly say I would not even know where to begin doing a presentation, but he showed me how to do it.
Mhm.
He has really, really, when you're talking about, being an orphan, I've never been an orphan. Uh, if I would need whatever, if I just, text him or whatever, he's always been there to help me. So I'm very grateful for that.
Well, good. And, you're gonna continue to attract all the other leaders. They're all gonna be looking at what you're doing. They're all gonna, now his page isn't terrible, but it's maybe 15% of what it really, could be. So,
Well,
I'll,
and all I could keep saying, Max, is thank you, because I would never be where I'm at without everything that I've learned from you,
Mhm.
because, we were still learning the old school way. And like I said, totally frustrating myself. And this is so much better and so much fun. And I'm not going to say I know it all. I try to be coachable, but I try to learn as much as I can.
Well, think about it this way. Look at where you are today compared to where you were when you first started.
Oh, absolutely.
And not only have you moved up, but how much fun are you having now compared to the way you were doing it?
Oh, it's so much. It really is. It's so much fun. It's like, oh, good. Let me get on here and see what I do, and see who I can contact, and let me. And I learned it. I didn't see. I didn't learn it all at first. I remember I couldn't even find the script originally, and then I had one of the people on here, Sheila. I'm trying to remember her last name because now there's two Sheilas. But the one Sheila, she was so kind. I think she's probably on tonight. And I didn't know how to copy and paste. And she said, "Oh, no problem. Here, I'll help you." I said, "Thank you." The other fella was Edward Swain. He's actually also in Legal Shield. And he said, "Here, I'll help you," because he knew some things that I didn't know. I'm so grateful for that.
I remember when I was building my business, I networked happy hour in Palm Beach for 7 months. And I recruited the largest group of dysfunctional distributors in the company. And so I go to happy hour and I met this fellow who was an emerald in
Oh,
Amway.
wow.
And he, I'm learning the business. So he invited me to an Amway meeting. They had one of their diamonds, who was also a Miami Dolphins football player, who was giving a presentation. They had 3,000 people in this room. And he got up there, he told his story. They drew the circles. And I went, not that I was going to be a prospect, but because I just wanted to, immerse myself in
Mhm.
the process. And what happened was he heard, I told him, I said, I'm building my business on AOL. So he calls me up one day and he said he didn't have to copy and paste. So if he was going to send a broadcast to 20 of his leaders, he literally typed each message separately. And so I taught him how to copy and paste. In fact, I did it over the phone. I said, use your mouse, do this, do this. Well, he thought I was a genius. And what ended up happening was about a year later, he went through a divorce and his wife got the business.
Oh, wow.
So now he was looking to get to stay in network marketing. So we joined our business, and he was gung ho on doing it on the internet. So, like I tell all of you, every time you make a connection with someone, you're planting it. It's like you're planting a seed in the ground,
Yes.
and so some of these seeds are gonna blossom sooner than others. But at the end of the day, you talk to the people who need it, want it, and posting is going to play a big role in everything that you do. Now, I'll just take a minute and let's kind of scroll down and let's look just to see. But here's Jennifer. And now Jennifer's settings are off because I can see her followers. And Jennifer, your headline here really needs to be, I think Jennifer's in our August boot camp. So this heading right here needs to be developed so that you are attractive to the people that you want to bring into your business. Okay, and if we come down here, and so what you're doing here and what you're doing here by giving people the link to a website, well, nobody has to ask you what you do. They could just bring up the website and so this is pretty much all new stuff. Whoops. Full-time mom. And you sold Cutco cutlery. So, Jennifer, you definitely have some work to do because you're making these profiles for the audience that you're looking to attract. Let's take a look at and so Julie is just getting started. Excellent. Excellent. Let's look. So Lori sells insurance. And everything that I'm teaching you, all of you, works for every kind of business. And it especially will help you sell insurance. In fact, let me bring up now. When I started working with Joanne, she went to a boot camp and then decided that she had been in Melaleuca for 8 years, was a customer, was never really able to build a business. She was an orphan. So she went to 2 boot camps, and then she brought me in to coach her. And the first month she doubled her business. The second month it tripled. And then what happened was she started to apply this to her insurance business. And all of a sudden, people in the office she was in were noticing, oh my God, this woman, where are you getting all the business? She said, well, I'm getting them on LinkedIn. So they actually paid her $5,000 to do a group training for agents in her area. And then by the end of the year, she did it 4 more times. But when she called in, she had moved over to another company. And again, I'm not showing you this to impress you. I'm showing you this to impress upon you what you can be doing, what members of your team can be doing.
I mean, Max, what you've taught me, obviously I've applied to my network marketing business and it absolutely works. We know that. It's a fact. You've done it with me. You've done it with so many others. But, one of the things I always say was what you teach us, we can apply to any job. And it's the same technique. It's the same dance. And I've used it in the insurance world, where I was recruiting for multiple agencies and using your techniques. I remember one month I recruited 40 insurance agents in 1 month. That's huge. And I know that you've worked with others that have built huge insurance agencies as well. Currently, I'm doing outside sales. I'm working for Republic Services, as you can see in my banner there. I have been with the company 2.5 months. I started in the beginning of May. And I told my manager when I was in the interview process how I thought that, I can apply LinkedIn and explode, this type of position. And it didn't register with him. And I waited and I said the first couple of weeks, I got to learn what I'm doing. I got that down. And then I said, I'm posting my first customer. So if you look back about a month, you'll see, Go Auto was my first post, nothing fancy. And then about a week ago, I think I did 5 posts in a row. And one of my posts for Red Arrow Diner has gotten over 6,000 views between 2, it said, oh, do you want to post in the, restaurant group or whatever? So this one here is a nonprofit, the one that you have right there. So they do mental health. And, I've got 23 likes on that and a good number of views. This one was a little restaurant in Nashua, and I think it was over 1,100 views when I saw it last. So what I'm doing is I've got a little twist, a little auto dealership. I think that one had about 1,200 views when I first looked at it last time. I'm not even really, the diner one's my favorite, the next one right there. So this diner, Red Arrow Diner, been around for 100 years. And I just posted me with some of the guys outside and one of the owners, 67 people liked it. So using your technique, I do a little post, and the only thing I'm saying about Republic Services is welcome to the Republic Services family. So just doing that, it was getting more engagement, more people within the company. But just in the last week or so, I've been asked, I trained my group of, my office, and now I've got my division manager sending out messages talking about how because of these couple of posts that I've done, I had someone on LinkedIn that I connected with on the 25th of June with my message one that you taught, copy paste, and I got a sale from that. And he's got 10 gas stations. So I'm getting the first one in August, and as long as we deliver, which we will, I'll end up getting 10 locations from him seeing my posts that you taught us how to do. You know what I mean? So I have a little bit of a twist, but my manager sent out a message talking about how he sees the value of what I'm doing, talking about me being 310% of budget. Then it's gone out to the region, and now one of the division managers are reaching out. They're shocked at what I'm doing. They're talking about me training their leaders and their sales force. They have 40,000 people that work for Republic Services. And this is like, you know, breaking news, using LinkedIn to do what we're doing here. I just think super cool. You know, it's like throwing that pebble in the water. And I just want to let you know, it's still having the ripple effect from what you and I have done.
So I have, I think 3 people on here that are, everybody that's on here, I think it's a student, but I have 3 people here that are contemplating one-on-one coach.
Why are they doing that, Matt? There's no question. The one-on-one coaching is where this all clicks for me. You know what I mean? And you know, after like my second session with you, we fixed the profile, you showed me the basics, I started running with it. I couldn't sleep at night. You know, once we started having our one-on-one sessions. I was getting up at 3, 4 in the morning, and I would start doing my connections, you know, doing what you taught me. And as you know, if you go back through our, trail there, I enrolled 3 people in one day when I was doing the network marketing. I got paid $5,000 to do 3 LinkedIn trainings for one of the insurance groups. Your training, your one-on-one coaching has opened up so many doors for me. So as time goes by, I always like to give you an update to let you know how I'm doing, but it all stems back to that one-on-one training that we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, were you surprised at how fast everything started to happen?
Initially, yeah. I mean, like, Max, I knew about you. I've heard about you from years before you and I had gotten together. I've watched some of the webinars that you had, but I mean, like, immediately when we first started working together, it just was like a snowball effect. But when I take that into other areas and see how it explodes, like, I can't tell you how excited I am about what I'm doing now. Seeing it with my upper management, how they're all like super excited. Many of those people that like this post are at Republic Services, the 67, and many of them I weren't connected to. So it was a layup in growing my connection. So every time you look at my connection, it grows. It doesn't take a ton of time. You put in 20, 30 minutes a day, but it's really hard to not want to keep going because it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about the ripple effect. Coming to this company, you're introducing them to something new. How big is the company?
We service about 14 million customers across the country, but there are about 40,000 people that work at Republic Services. And I'm just one of them. And literally, I'm getting attention from across the country with what I'm doing. I'm even getting competitors sending me messages that are like, I wish I did that when I was with the company, or you know what I mean? Like, people are like, how brilliant. And it's such a simple concept. It's like giving a thank you to the customers, but it's promoting me, it's promoting the business, it's promoting, the company I work for. And it's just so simple. It's a post. You know what I mean? It takes 10 minutes to put it together.
And that's, my friend, one of the things that I emphasize in our current boot camp, because it's not just about the conversation you have. It's about your activity. It's about putting things out there that people can see, that people can react to, that people can respond to, that the ripple effect of that is indescribable. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised in 6 months if you got, I don't know if you're looking for it, major promotion, maybe VP of training.
Yeah, I can totally see something like that, coming down the pike if that's the path that I choose. But right now, I think that I'm just having so much fun doing this. You know what I mean? Like when you get so excited to do a job that, is fun and you enjoy it, I can see that happening down the road or them coming up with some sort of initiative. But for now, I just want to focus on this because this is just, it's totally fun, just like when building network marketing business this way. It's far more fun than asking friends to come over and, would you please come over and do it in all, it's way more fun.
Well, Joanne, it was wonderful to hear from you. Again, congratulations are once again in order. For me, it's going to be enjoyable to watch your career blossom, as a result of, what I taught you. But, you added your own little spin to it. I mean, I love that line. Let's go trash.
Thank you.
It's terrific. Thanks again for sharing
Thank you, Ken.
your story, and congratulations.
Thank you. And anyone, on the fence, don't hesitate. Max's time is limited, and, if you get the opportunity to work with him, he's truly a guest. So thank you again, Max.
Thank you.
Now, if anybody here is interested in working with me one-on-one, type coaching, put your phone number in the chat, and one of my staff members will reach out to you tomorrow. All right. So we have our third session of boot camp tomorrow night. And then I will be shutting down registration for the August boot camp. So you still have an opportunity to get in. Remember, all of the boot camp sessions are recorded. So if you have team members that are interested, bring them in. And our goal in boot camp is to help everybody enroll 5 people by the end of the month. Now, posting is important, but it's all about conversations. It's all about getting people to like it or make a comment. It starts a conversation that begins the relationship. So, like I said, we will be back tomorrow. We'll have a 9:30 broadcast, 4 o'clock broadcast for those of you that are in boot camp. And then tomorrow night at 9, we'll be getting into communicating, and we'll go through several different scenarios, several different scripts that shows you how easy it could be. And Barbara, I sent a connection request to your upline. You might tell them that I've done it, and
Thank you. I appreciate that.
you can also when he accepts, I'll send him my phone number. You can give him my phone number too.
I don't have your phone number.
I'll send it to you in the text.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. And as for the rest of you,
Thank you.
well, you're very welcome. Congratulations again. All of you, every one of you is heading down the same road. There is nothing, absolutely nothing to stop all of you from going as far and as fast in your business as you want. So until next time, best of luck in building your business. God bless. Catch up to all of you tomorrow.